All right, this is Dealing police officer fired for filing complaint against superior, sues for wrongful termination. Let's check this out.
It's body camera video that landed a DeLand police officer under investigation, but not off your streets.
But then I turned on my body camera, and apparently he didn't turn his on.
And tonight, we're hearing from the former officer who recorded this heated confrontation. That body camera video allegedly shows a DeLand police officer yelling profanities at a man who was just sitting on a bench. Good evening. I'm George Estevez.
I'm Vanessa Eccles. The incident recorded outside a 7-Eleven is now the subject of an internal investigation. Today, only investigative reporter Carla Ray spoke to the now former officer who took that video to her supervisor. And Carla, you found out the officer who's under investigation is still on patrol.
And we came out here, we wanted to be able to show people exactly where this happened. Those officers were here at this 7-Eleven store working a different unrelated trespassing call in the parking lot when for some reason the corporal came over to a man who was sitting on this bench, and you're about to see what happened next.
The first 30 seconds of this quick body camera video is silent. It's the pre-roll feature that preserved the moments leading up to when Allison Bainbridge watched her former corporal Ken Ramkissoon walk up to a man sitting on a bench outside of a DeLand 7-Eleven. She turned the camera on just in time to hear this.
I've been in law enforcement for over 8 years, and I have never been in an incident like this before.
You know what it's like? It's like this officer's going, watch Ken about to abuse his power and trample over this guy's rights. Watch this.
The camera on.
And this is why we do what we do, guys. This is why we do First Amendment audits. This is why we hold public servants accountable, because they do abuse their power. Power does corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. If the problem with the world is evil people, the last thing you want to do as a solution to that problem is give some of these evil people a monopoly on force and power. Listen to this.
Just in time to hear this.
Watch Ken. Do you want me to beat your effing ass? Get away from here.
I've been in law enforcement for over 8 years, and I have never been in an incident like this before. It shocked my conscience to see what happened there.
It happened on June 24th when the officers were called to this store for a different trespassing call. The city of DeLand wouldn't release documents or body camera video to us due to an ongoing internal investigation, but Bainbridge obtained copies of both incidents after filing a complaint, including this view taken from Ramkissoon's camera as he approached the original trespassing subject.
Did I tell you to leave? Don't raise your voice at me, because I'll dump your ass. Did I tell you to leave?
This document shows Bainbridge went to her sergeant to...
And of course people are going to comply, because that's what you do. You've been taught in your 15,000-hour indoctrination program called the public fool system to just obey authorities, and you're not a good person if you don't. The guy's coming at you with the uniform, a badge, and a gun, the authority of the state, and if you don't comply, they're going to pull out all the resources of the state to hunt you down. So that is an absolute abuse of authority, talking to somebody like that. And then to add insult to injury, you come at somebody and you go, hey, I'm a public servant. I'm here serving the public. Well, that's a funny way for a servant to talk to his master, don't you think?
Complain the very same day. But a week later, Ramkissoon filed paperwork of his own, detailing what he described as concerns about the manner in which Officer Bainbridge is performing her duties. It's part of a packet DeLand sent 9 investigates today to show justification for firing Bainbridge this week.
Didn't say anything about my performance until I filed this complaint.
And that right there is why we say this right here. There are 3 kinds of cops. Cop number 1 is the criminal cop who goes, hey, watch this. Watch what Ken's going to do. He's going to violate this person's right and jeopardize his life by threatening him. The first kind of cop is the criminal cop who commits crimes while pretending to uphold the law. That's deprivation of rights under color of law, 18 U.S.C. 242. There's cop number 2 who sees the criminal cop committing the crimes and does nothing, which makes him equally as guilty. And then there's cop number 3, which is this lady right here from the Dealand police officer who was fired for filing a complaint against her fellow officer. It's the cop who reports them and gets fired for crossing the thin blue line. Good thing that she wasn't caught in friendly fire. I mean, they could have got rid of her a different way. It's a good thing she's still alive, I guess.
And today, the city of DeLand spokesperson told me that her firing has nothing to do with her speaking out about this incident. We did find that she had a letter of counseling given to her just last week after she failed to immediately turn on her body camera video in an incident all the way back in May. After that letter of counseling, she was fired just days later.
That is digging, man. That is digging. I mean, especially when you have what happened in Loveland, Colorado with Karen Garner. Remember that when they got it on body cam, them completely abusing this 72-year-old woman, pulling her arm out of the socket, laughing about it right outside her cell where she was staying, reviewing the body cam footage, going, oh, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. Why is it so hard to get rid of those people? And then you got to go, and people like this that actually exposes the thin blue line for the evil that they actually do. Now we're going to go all the way back and she failed to turn her body cam on here. Well, it's never been a big deal in the department before. I wonder why it's a big deal now.
She is a probationary employee. Reporting live in DeLand in Volusia County, Carla Ray, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Fired days after filing a complaint against her supervisor, is now suing the department.
Here's a different segment dealing with that same DeLand police officer.
Reporter Carla Ray broke the story in July of last year. She joins us live in studio. Carla, Allison Bainbridge's complaint against her supervisor led to his demotion, but she is the one out of a job here?
Yeah, Bainbridge raised a red flag after her body camera captured this incident involving a superior officer berating and swearing at a homeless man sitting outside of a 7-Eleven. This lawsuit.
You can't have cops on the force shedding light on their dark deeds. That's not how the brotherhood works. You can't have all these do-gooder cops out there watching all the bad cops. That's just not how this life goes, man. That's why you won't find any good cops. Why? Because see, the foundation of a cop's job is law enforcement. Since most laws, all laws are written by politicians, it's just the opinion of a politician. That's all it is. Most laws are wicked, cruel, and utterly immoral, if not downright evil. So you have a cop swearing to uphold all that wickedness and that cruelty and that evil. And you wouldn't even have, it would just be words on fancy looking pieces of paper, those laws from politicians. The people who actually bring those words into being and into action and make that evil a reality are the badged, uniformed, costumed agents of the state called law enforcers. That's where we have our problem.
Shows how just days after she filed that complaint against this officer, that man filed a different complaint against her, and she was fired while he stayed on the force.
Did I tell you to leave? Don't raise your voice at me because I'll dump your ass. Did I tell you to leave?
These body camera videos cost DeLand officer Ken Ramkissoon his rank of corporal, but only after the officer wearing the camera in this clip exposed them to her chain of command.
This is funny to them.
You can hear Allison Bainbridge's disgust in the footage, which she reiterated immediately to her supervisors and to 9 Investigates when we spoke to her in July of 2018.
I've been in law enforcement for over 8 years, and I have never been.
I would love to see all the video, the body cam footage of that. We've already seen this right here.
A just-filed lawsuit details how Bainbridge believes she was wrongfully terminated as a result of that complaint. All along, DeLand has pointed to performance issues during Bainbridge's probationary period as the reason for her dismissal. But the lawsuit details how
I'd like to pull FOIAs for the last 10 years and see how many performance issues got a cop fired in the last, decade or two.
Ramkissoon, the very person she complained about, filed a complaint against her days later. The suit claims it was put in her personnel file without her knowledge and without her having a chance to respond.
Now, I know it looks like retaliation. I know it seems like a coincidence. This only happened 2 days after she blew the whistle on me. But really, the fact that she didn't turn that body camera on months and months and months and months ago has really been eating on me, and it just now came to the surface for some reason.
And that the first time she learned about it was when I gave her a copy of it the day of our interview after she was let go.
Didn't say anything about my performance until I filed this complaint.
There was one other letter of counseling in Bainbridge's file, but that was also submitted in July, just days before her termination. That one was related to an incident from April of last year in which she didn't turn on her body camera right away, something she didn't even know she would be counseled for. A city attorney told us today that they plan to vigorously defend against Bainbridge's, quote, baseless allegations. In studio, Carla Ray, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Wow. There are no good cops.
How many good cops you ever see stop a bad cop from being a bad cop? I've done it many a times. I've done it. You know what I got? You know what I received? Yo, whose side you on? I'd be like, yo, I'm on the right side. The dude's in cuffs. What you hitting for? What is the problem? He ran from us. What does that mean? He ran from us. We got to tune him up. I said, what training? I didn't get that in the academy. We have a problem that needs to be addressed. And until we start having these conversations, right, until the rest of the world start having these conversations, we're always going to have this problem when it comes down to policing.
This comes from the YouTube channel Police Brutality Matters, and I guess that's the owner of the channel right here. I'm assuming he's got a Police Brutality Matters badge on. But this is Police Brutality Matters. You know, give him a shout out. Let him know, here's the deal, sent you. This is a pretty good expose on just a glimpse of the internal workings of the Thin Blue Line cult. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.